We are now on page 524 in chapter 8, and we're going to create a pivot chart from an existing pivot table. Okay. First thing we want to do is click on A4 and click the field list button. Right here to get our field list back over on the right, and click the pivot chart button, and there's our pivot chart button up here on the pivot table tools options tab. And we need to tell it what kind of chart we want, and we want 3D clustered column chart, and click on OK. And it's on the same page. And now with the chart selected, we're going to move it again like we have with all of our charts. Click on Move Chart, and we're going to put it on a new sheet, and we're going to call it Average Sales Pivot Chart Report, and click on OK. So now we have something that looks like this. This is similar to the picture on the top of page 525. And we want to right click the tab, and we're going to change our color, red accent to column 6 row 1. So tab color, column 6 row 1. There we go. And if I click off of there now, you can see that it's turned red. And in the pivot table field list pane, that would be over here. Drag the total 2011 and total 2012 values out of the values area to remove them from the chart. So I don't want the totals, so I'm going to drag them up and let go, and drag this up and let go. And now what I've got is two bars, one for the average 2011, one for the average 2012, and we should be looking pretty much like the one on the bottom of page 525. Now let's turn to page 526. Click the Change Chart Type button, and that's up here. And we're going to make it a 3D cylinder. Let me see, row 2, column 4, that would be this one. And we're going to click on OK. And we're going to go to our Layout tab up here. And we're going to click the Chart Title button here. And we're going to put it above the chart. And we don't need to drag the mouse over the chart title. When we pick this option, we can start typing right away, and it appears up here on the formula bar. And here you do a Shift Enter, I guess, instead of an Alt Enter. That's not right. It must be Alt Enter. Let's do an Alt Enter. Let's do a Shift Enter. Okay, there we go. It is Shift Enter. Average sales by manager, and I got my shift key messed up. Do a Shift Enter again and type 2011 and 2012, and we're good. Okay, click off of there. Click Format on the ribbon to display the Pivot Chart Tools format. And click the More button. Okay, title has to be selected. Click the More button under Word Art Styles here. Click on the down arrow. And we want column 4, row number 3. That would be this one, Gradient Fill Turquoise Accent 1. And it changes our title. Click the Layout on the ribbon to display the Pivot Tools Layout tab right here. And click the Chart Wall button. And we want show whoops, I clicked the wrong one there. More wall options. And on the left, we want to select fill. Want the gradient button here. And select the following fill options. The type is going to be linear. The direction is going to be linear up. And we're just going to have to pause our mouse over these and see which is which. There's linear up. And the color is going to be light turquoise. It's going to be column 3, row number 3, which would be this one right here. And click the close button. And that should apply now to the background of our pivot chart. Now we're going to change the view of the pivot chart. I'm on the top of page 529. Click Analyze on the ribbon to display the Pivot Chart Tools Analyze tab. There we go. And if necessary, click the Field List button to display the Pivot Table Field List pane. That's this over here. It's already visible. And click the Manager checkbox to deselect the Manager field. So let's go over here and turn off Manager. Okay. And click the State checkbox to select the State field and add it to the Axis field. So let's turn State on. And now we've got something that looks like the picture on the top of page 529. Click and drag the Location button in the Axis fields area so it is below the State button, like this. And click the Sales Pivot Table Report Sheet tab. Here's our Pivot Table Report Sheet tab. I'm going to drag this over here so we can see our tab labels a little bit better. And this should look just like the spreadsheet on the bottom of page 529. Now let's go to page 530. And in the Pivot Table Report, delete the State field and replace it with the Manager field in the row labels area. So we're going to delete State. Just drag it up here and let go and replace it with the Manager field. We're kind of undoing what we did before. Just click on Manager and automatically put it down here. If necessary, change the order of the row labels to display the data first by Manager and then by location. So first by Manager and then location. I have to drag Manager up here. And now let's go to our chart. And our chart now should look, we changed the pivot table, the pivot chart automatically changes to reflect the changes that were made in the pivot table. So now this should look just like the chart on the top of page 530, and that's probably a good place to take a break.